Welcome back, everyone. It is LaughNgamez here, and today we're back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay. Today we've got ourselves a Zerg versus Protoss on the map Dusk Towers, and I could get into all that in a bit, but for now, spawning on down in the bottom left-hand side of the map, it is Storm's NoRegreT, the Canadian Zerg, who's actually living in Korea at the moment. And spawning up in the top right, his opponent, Flipside Tactics Bales, as the red Protoss here. So we've got ourselves Protoss versus Zerg here on one of the larger maps. And this is one of the older maps, so we can see things. We can really see anything happen on this map. However, it does generally aim towards more of a standard style of play here. However, NoRegreT is known to be quite an aggressive player here, so we could definitely see some aggression coming out of him, and he's actually opting to take the forward hatchery here as his expansion. But I can get into that in a bit, but right now, both players are just going for a very fast expansion here, going very macro-oriented here. We have actually a Nexus first, which is very bold for the Protoss player Bales. So he's placing all his marbles on the fact that NoRegreT isn't going to be cheesing him, and he was actually right. NoRegreT just going for a hatchery first at the front of his base, so that could lead to could point towards that he wants to go for timing. However, it's not uncommon for a Zerg to take this base instead of their pocket natural. The pocket natural is actually the reason though why Bales would have felt comfortable opening with this opening that he went for, because he can simply wall off very easily. He's going to start a Zealot here likely. Regardless, he's seen no Lings are coming across the map with his probe, so he's not going to start a Zealot actually. He knows exactly the situation he's in. So, we've got ourselves a double gas coming out here out of Bales after that Nexus first. So, a Protoss build is going to be sort of set back a bit by the Nexus first. Normally at this point a Protoss would have their cybernetics score done. They might be starting to throw in their tech of choice. But Bale's going for a very economic opening, so his tech will be delayed just by a bit. But later on in the game it will pay off with his much better economy here. And now we see two Adepts coming out of Bales. So two Adepts wanting to deal with any Zerglings, and he's actually chrono boosting these out. So playing it very, I guess, standard and safe. He stops chrono boosting those halfway through, so I guess he just wanted to get those out a little bit quicker here. And he's actually thrown up a pylon at the front of his base, so that's likely pointing towards a quick third Nexus here. So Bale's possibly going for a very macro-oriented play, and with a Nexus first that's already gone unpunished. NoRegreT did not open aggressive, but he didn't open super greedy for a Zerg player. He is now just getting up his third hatchery here, and seems like Bales could be going for a third Nexus soon, as he has yet to define his tech of choice. For now, he's just making lots of Adepts, making lots of probes. So Bales is in a very good economic spot here. If we look at it, he's up on probes as he has been chrono boosting them out with the majority of his chrono boost here. But once NoRegreT does get up this third hatchery, he will produce lots of drones and be safe. However, now NoRegreT has made quite a few Zerglings here, and he's actually starting to flood across the map. He's got 12 Zerglings in total, not enough to fight 4 Adepts at all. So this attack isn't going to get much done. However, he is just putting on a bit of pressure. He's possibly going to kill off his pylon, not liking Photon Overgrowth coming down from Bales, and actually force field, whereas NoRegret's committing right on top of his pylon. So he managed to kill the pylon, but he lost 7 Zerglings there, so that was not worth it at all here. I guess if he had maybe a follow-up coming, it would be worth it, but it is not. Now NoRegreT has seen the situation. He knows Bales is going for that Nexus. That's why Bales had a pylon out there, why he was parked out there. And NoRegreT is saying, alright, well, you're going macro, I'll go on my own macro. He is now getting up his 4th hatchery here. And not really, neither of these players have necessarily defined a tech that's gonna sort of angle towards what they're going for. We are seeing now a Robo going up for Bales, very standard for a Protoss. He's playing so macro-oriented. Could be aiming for a Warp Prism later on, but for now it's just pointing towards more safe play. NoRegreT getting up this fourth hatchery, so he's saying, alright, you're playing safe myself. And now, just Zerglings with this melee upgrade coming out of NoRegreT. He started his lair only just a second ago, so his tech of choice will be coming out soon here, but 4 hatcheries before that is not common. Now we actually see NoRegreT moving in with these Zerglings here, trying to get some damage done. However, just Zerglings, which don't even have their +1 attack upgrade finished yet, will not trade efficiently versus Adepts and Sentries. So NoRegreT has thrown away a fair few units this game. Although he does have so many more Zerglings here, they're going to get a wraparound with this army. Many of the force fields have already been burnt down, and it seems that Bales is going to be forced to use that recall here. However, that does mean he will not have a photon overcharge just yet. He will have one in a second, but he is going to have to rely on these sentries and those other units to hold this wall. NoRegreT has seen everything. He's seen the warp gates in the front wall. This is a very cool wall here, by the way, from Bales. You don't necessarily see a Protoss go for such a thick wall off here. I guess Bales has seen that it is NoRegreT, so Ling run-bys are always a possibility, and he's playing it safe. Now we see the tech coming out here for NoRegreT. He's gone for Aspire, getting up a Baneling Nest, so it's likely gonna be that Mutalisk style with Baneling support to deal with the Adepts. We see NoRegreT seeing what's going on here. Moving in with these Zerglings once again. They do have their +1, so they are going to tear through this army very quickly if they get on top. Over great force fields coming out of Bales. He has quite a few sentries here. 10 sentries in total. This is a lot, which means he can essentially force field all day to deal with these Zerglings. We saw this Warp Prism coming in for NoRegreT here, actually getting lots of damage done here. The drone's forced to be pulled, the Spire's scouted. So these Adepts will eventually get cleaned up by these Zerglings. However, Adepts can always trade efficiently versus Zerglings, particularly in a position like this. The Ling's trying to get good surface area, but they cannot as these Adepts are tucked away. Wow, that's actually like the best view I've seen of an Adept just on this angle. You don't necessarily pay too much attention to that. They just look like a slightly different Zealot normally. So anyway, here we have NoRegreT has moved in with all his sentries and Mothership Core here. The Queen is focusing down the Mothership Cores. He definitely needed to keep that alive to recall, and he successfully did recall here. However, now NoRegreT is not necessarily in a good position. Well, Bales isn't necessarily in a good position. He did get up these 2 Stargates. He's getting up a Fleet Beacon, so he will be able to deal with these Mutalisks. However, NoRegreT is now on 4 bases happily. He quite possibly may throw up a 5th soon, and Bales is making these Phoenix 2 at a time to deal with these mutas. However, it is only 2, and there is a decent amount of mutas out for NoRegreT here, 9 in total. So, and he's actually going to try to kill this Nexus there. That would not work at all. Trying to poke around and do some damage. The blink for Bales was revealed here. So these players, Bales has now gotten lots of tech here, and now NoRegreT's actually committing onto this Nexus with this +1 Zerglings, managing to tear through that very quickly with the Mutalisk support, canceling that Nexus. So a great move, putting some damage on the economy of Bales. And now we see NoRegreT is committing to more and more Mutalisk. However, this is really questionable as Bales is getting up these Phoenix, and he's actually getting up the, I believe, yeah, that's the Phoenix range upgrade here. So these Phoenix will be able to shoot even further and absolutely destroy these Mutalisks. The Warp Prism being cleaned up by these Mutalisks. However, as this Phoenix count grows, it grows a lot more effective than just adding more Mutalisk on. Sure, 4 Phoenix can deal with Mutalisk very well, but say 10 Phoenix can deal with 40 Mutalisk very, very well, as they can just chip away on them so quick. Now we see NoRegreT trying to do some damage, forcing out more force fields here, but Bales has lots of sentries that are building up plenty of energy, and now the Phoenix are moving in there. They're going to get on top of these mutas, and these mutas do not stand a chance to survive here. These Phoenix are just absolutely collapsing on top of these mutas, and they're going to be chipped to death. They cannot escape these Phoenix, which now have their increased range. More Phoenix being produced. Now NoRegreT has literally just Zerglings here. He's going to have +2 attack. He's actually making 10 Corruptors to deal with this. And now Bales is just going to get some damage done here with these Phoenix. He's picking off Queens. No spores have gone up for NoRegreT, as he was relying on these Mutalisks, and he's going to be relying on these Corruptors in a second here over drones, and drones are going down, and now Bales is on equal bases with NoRegreT. As Bales is transferring probes, he's got up that 4th Nexus, and he has a worker lead. So if we look at the income tab here, Bales is definitely in the lead. He's got a better composition. This Protoss composition, as it sort of ages, it still retains this efficiency with the sentries, with this Immortal, and the Phoenix are just going to allow him to reign supreme in the skies. NoRegreT is investing in Corruptors to deal with these Phoenix, but they're not necessarily enough to... He's investing into sort of dead supply here to deal with this less than dead supply for Bales. These Phoenix have lots of utility. They're forcing Corruptors to come out of NoRegreT, while Bales has a very strong ground army, and he's actually poking at these Corruptors. A large Phoenix count and now he's actually picking up Zerglings here. I guess just burning that energy here, as there's not much else for those Phoenix to do. We now see Infestors coming out for NoRegreT. That is a great way. If he catches the Phoenix, they won't be able to escape the Corruptors, and they can all go down. So, very great option for NoRegreT. He's actually getting up his Hive too, so if he does manage to gain that air superiority back, he could always go for Broodlords here, which is quite possibly his best tech. However, Bales does have the 2 Stargates, so he could easily start, and a Fleet Beacon, so he could easily start producing Tempest or Void Rays. So, NoRegreT is definitely behind in this game, but if he is given enough time, he will be able to stay alive here. But it seems that Bales is going to start moving out here, though these Lings for NoRegreT are going to try to move in and get a counterattack here. There is an Adept in the wall, so these Lings are not going to get in. They're going to... NoRegreT sees that. He's now going to pull off, so just really going for anything he can here. Corruptors trying to chase down these Phoenix, however, they will be endlessly chipped away here. And now these Zerglings for NoRegreT are trapped. They didn't get in. He sees the Mothership core, and he's going to be thinking, oh no, I'm in a world of trouble. The supply is in the lead for Bales by almost 60. His units are more efficient. We're seeing so many Corruptors coming out here for NoRegreT, so he is going to be committing to these Broodlords. However, I don't think they're going to be done in time. Bales smells blood in the water. He knows his position, and he's going to try to end the game here. These Lings going across the map for NoRegreT, trying to get some damage done and sort of force Bales to pull back, but I don't think Bales is going to bite. He's going to push in. He's going to go to kill NoRegreT. This Greater Spire is almost done. It's a race against time, however. That is... time-wise, it is not really enough for NoRegreT. These Broodlords take time to morph. He's sure he's got a few Spine Crawlers. However, this is a Mothership for so many Phoenix and Stalkers, so NoRegreT is going to need so many Broodlords here to deal with this. He's losing his 4th base here. He's not mining off his 5th, so his economy is going to be all but dead, so he's going to need to morph these Broodlords. But now he gets supply blocks, so he's at these 8 Broodlords, and he's not going to be able to make any more. He had so many Overlords here. His supply limit is so far down. So it's going to be up to these 8 Broodlords to kill off. But there's so many Stalkers, there's so many Phoenix, these could easily deal with this. The Corruptors are going to try to do their best. However, as I said before, these Stalkers, and now all these Corruptors are clumping and they're being shot by the Archons. The Corruptors are going to start going down so fast because of all this splash, because of the mass Phoenix count, because of the Stalkers, and that's going to lead for the Broodlords to go down to these Phoenix. And that is going to be GG as Bales manages to take the game versus NoRegreT. A great play out of Bales there. He simply just macroed, and he won the game because of it. He survived and he won. So we have now seen Bales take the game with arguably just a better composition there. NoRegreT just stuck on those Zerglings. He dumped money where it could have arguably been better spent, and by that I mean, look at the resources lost tab. He is down by... Look at that, he is down by over 10,000 resources there. And that is absurd, particularly from a game that was only 13 minutes. Sure, that is understandable for a game which maybe went longer, but so many resources lost for NoRegreT, so Bales ultimately just managed to move across the map. Anyway, enough going on about the end of that game. It's already over. If you guys like the content, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, as I do plan on doing lots of this content. I've been at it for a short period of time here, but gonna definitely keep doing more. And if you have any feedback, feel free to let me know. See you guys next time.